And change is a very strange concept to everybody, but I'm going to give a brief explanation why I think so. On the one hand, us human beings we have evolved to actually be like the perfect adaptation machine. Like the human body literally changes to the molecular level if necessary, just to be able to adapt to the environment or other internal or outside factors. So we're kind of built for change. We should be loving change. People, humans, should welcome change in every aspect. But on the other hand, and I'm sure you are much more aware of this, change is like the last thing many people want to do.
Yes.
How do you deal with this? Because I've tried and I've given up. I'm not given up in a pessimistic way, given up in a hopeful way. Maybe life will bring you to a point at some point when you change. But that's not your approach. Mine is passive and hopeful and okay, maybe karma, whatever. You want to do it, you're driving it, and still are you faced with like failures nonstop? Like,
yes.
How are you still driving these changes?
So do you want to answer?
Yeah, go ahead. I can answer second. Yeah.
So many things like in that question. For me, the most difficult feeling to deal with is powerlessness.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's when you realize that you cannot make the change you want. It doesn't matter how much I work in the slums, for example. There will always be the drug dealers and people get involved with the gangs, and I cannot change that social reality because it's huge. And when I look the size of the problem, I feel powerlessness. But for the young people that I have been in touch, in a smaller level, more individual level, and I see they changed, right?
Okay.
I see the result. I see they can understand themselves in a different way. They feel more motivated. They deal with people in a different way. They are growing. They are evolving in that way. So I think what motivates me is to see that the influence that we have promotes a tangible change. I cannot force you to change. I can stimulate and inspire you. And you change if you want to change. And sometimes people are not ready. They don't want to. They don't see why. And then we need to deal with this powerlessness, horrible feeling. So it's inspirational, motivating, but also the other side of it. Does it make sense?
No, it does. But it also makes sense that it's a very specific personal trait of yours. Because I'm sure many people, when feel powerlessness, just find another thing where they do have power. But I see where you're going. Yeah, those little glimpses of like positive change, even for a single child, is enough for you. Maybe for others isn't, but it's enough for
Many
you. So
give up. Some people give up.
That's why you are you, and that's why you are you. You were gonna add something?
Yes, I would say that I love change. Like personally, I love change. I think every change is good. In our professional life, in our private life, and if you look at my professional life, I'm always changing things because maybe I grew up with my mother and father always wanting to have the status quo, which means the safe little world, like the safe job, safe house, safe environment. But then, as we spoke before, it doesn't exist anymore. So as you said as well, you need to adapt. Yeah. And somehow it is in my blood that I can adapt easily and I won't change. I genuinely won't change. So I'm always looking for change. Whatever I do, I'm looking for change. And I think that it's good when you lead by example as well. So whenever I do any kind of empowerment workshops, trainings, I speak to young people, particularly young people, because in my country I really see the future in the young generations. I really try to show them by these tangible results that change is possible and change is good. And sometimes particularly living in developing countries, you can feel this powerlessness. How do you say it? Yes.
Powerlessness.
Because sometimes you can feel little as an individual. But if you look back and if you just see how many lives or how many attitudes you have changed throughout your professional experience, you will see that that's not very little. Maybe in my eyes now, they see it's not that much, but actually that person that we have changed has changed maybe other 10. So it's a multiplier effect.
It's a movement, I would say.
It's a little multiplier effect. Like you touch one, and then that one, if he really understands, she understands, then they will go on with the message, and they will lead by example. And so it's. I think that really, even by changing one, we change a lot. We change the society, and it's also good when we are activists, because I'm an activist in my soul. I really believe in justice and in speaking up vocally and freely about things that I believe in my values and principles. It helps a lot when you're reunited with the like-minded people. Because when we live in our own environment, you can be discouraged many times. Because I have, as you have, many challenges and many barriers. There are many people saying no, 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 no all the time. So at one point, it happened to me as well. You stop and you think, am I crazy? Like maybe they are right.
What am I doing here?
What am I doing? And I thought that when I was drinking in one place. So I really thought like, okay, is everyone is against or everyone has a different setup, like mind setup. So maybe it's really me that I'm crazy. Maybe it's really me that I'm wrong, So from time to time, it's good to disconnect from this reality where we have our actions and to connect with like-minded people. So when we go to this program, like we're reunited. I went now in USA, but also went to France in this a month ago for a different kind of program. It's always about empowerment and feminist movement. And it empowers you even more when you go back to say, okay, it's not only me. There are many, many like-minded people all around the world. We are fine. Like we have our values and principles, and we need to continue to do what you do, what you believe in.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're alone back there in Brazil in my office doing something, but when I connect with the girls, whatever energy I put into the world is not only my energy, it's like being part of a bigger movement of people thinking how to make good into the world, how to help other people. So it's kind of wave. I am surfing that wave and I'm not alone, So that gives us more strength.
Yeah, energy, strength, empowerment. And it's always good to go back to that like group of people that can inspire you again.
See, that's why I love this. In like a half an hour,
Okay.
I've connected so many dots now, like so many new things make much more sense in literally like a 30-minute conversation. I'm not joking. I really feel, I know, gratitude just for connecting these, because I completely understand now. Like, okay, this one little thing was little today, but yesterday there was another, and in your lifetime you've accumulated thousands.
Yes.
But then there's another 1,000, and now the organization makes sense. That just, I don't know why now I know why they've thought of, well, let's bring 16 of them together. Now that's 16,000, and then you just escalate. So this was a beautiful experience. I kind of want to just feel this newfound understanding.